Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Renee Slansky and I'm a professional dating and relationship coach, and I help women from around the world uncomplicate love and find and build the relationship they desire and deserve. Okay, that was really loud. Okay, let's get into this week's Ask Renee's question. Before I even get into it, I want to let you know about a brand new webinar that I am holding for women in particular. Now, well, not in particular, it is only for women. Now, this is a webinar which is basically called Find Out What It Is That Is Stopping You from Finding Love and Learn How to Attract a Man That Wants to Commit. Now, if you are a woman who is ready to have breakthrough in your love life and that is something that you want to learn about in a little bit more detail, then I've got a free webinar for you. I'll put the link below in my little description, and all you need to do is click on it and it will take you through to register for that free webinar. This week's question is, how do I get out of the friend zone? Now, this is something that I hear a little bit more so with men asking me this rather than females asking me this. But I think it applies to both people because basically it is something that can happen to anybody if you aren't aware of it happening or you continue to do the things which get you into that dreaded friend zone. But I must say, before I even give you my 4 tips to being able to get out of the friend zone, let's just talk about what it's like being in the friend zone in the first place. Girls and guys, there is nothing wrong with being friends with somebody that is awesome or someone who adds to your life. Now, obviously, if you are attracted to them and you want something a little bit more, then it makes things a little bit more awkward. And not only does it make things awkward, it also means that you usually give more in that friendship as such than what you should, because you're hoping to actually get more back and because you want more back. So if you do find yourself caught in the friend zone, first ask yourself, is this somebody who you want to continue to have a friendship with? Or is it when you actually tell them that you want something more that it's going to get a little bit awkward? And also remind yourself that make sure that you are being friends with this person or you're having this person in your life, that if you did get into a relationship with them or if you did take it to the next level, then they would continue to still be someone who does add value to your life in general. My first tip is this: stop pleasing them all the time. Now, obviously, when we like somebody, we want to do stuff for them, more so than what we do if we didn't like somebody or if we didn't want something from somebody. So as I said, we start to cross the boundary a little bit where we are giving more and more into the friendship, and more so probably than what they are giving back, because we have a different intention to what they do. And that's why we're in the friend zone. The friend zone is basically feeling that the person that we are attracted to, the person that we want something with, only sees us as a friend rather than a potential person to have a relationship with. So what we do is we start to give beyond what it is that we should, and we don't get back what it is that we want, and hence we keep ourselves in this place of never feeling that we are being satisfied by this relationship that we have with this person, because essentially it's not the type of relationship that we really want. So make sure you put down that boundary. If you want to have something more than friends with that person, then let them earn it. When we give constantly to somebody, we don't actually allow them room to be able to give back to us, because essentially what we're doing is we're fulfilling their role and we're not leaving them space to be able to step up on who we actually want them to be. Now, if you're somebody where you are happy to be generous, and I'm not saying that you need to be stingy, all of a sudden you need to stop contact and stop talking to them. I'm talking about having a little bit of balance. If you are constantly giving them all the benefits of who you are without the relationship that you actually want and deserve, heavy stuff, then what you're going to do is you're going to find that they are going to keep taking advantage of that. And so if you pull back a little bit, it's going to give them some chase. It's also going to indicate to them that you are wanting a little bit more and that you have an expectation on them. Now, that expectation might be something as simple as them putting in a little bit more effort, or them actually coming up with the initiative of hanging out, or them, communicating a little bit more. Don't do all the work in the relationship if you want to get out of the friend zone. Which brings me to point number 2. Don't be so available all the time. The reason why we get friend zone is because we stop the chase. Now, men need to chase, women need to chase. We both want to chase each other, hence why we call it dating, okay? We want to have that little bit of a challenge. We want to have that reason to court somebody. We want to show them that they need us, and that, we want to prove to them that we are somebody that is lovable and someone that is desirable as well. If you are available all the time, then they're not going to see you as somebody who has the potential to give them that challenge that they actually need and want in a relationship. They're going to assume that you're always going to be there. They're going to take you for granted, and they're not going to put in the effort needed to be able to get what it is they actually want from you. Now, most of the time when you are being friend zoned, the person that is friend zoning you actually knows that they are friend zoning you. Whether they're doing it indirectly or not, they haven't seen you as somebody that they want to have a relationship with. Yet they're still happy to have the benefits that you are giving them from a friendship perspective. So if you want something a little bit more, then you need to again put down that boundary and not be so available to them. Be a little bit more mysterious, be a little bit more guarded, hold back a little bit so that you give them room to be able to move forward and chase you a little bit more. Offer them a challenge so that they can start to see you in a different light. People don't want to date a doormat. They don't want to date a people pleaser. They want to date someone who challenges them, someone that they can feel that they can chase, someone that really helps them step up into a little bit more. So if you want them to view you in that way, then you need to give them that opportunity by just not being so available all the time. Number 3, flirt a little. If you want to have a little bit more chemistry and romance in this relationship and get out of the friend zone, then you need to turn it up a little bit. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to go all seductress and start sending unsolicited nude pics or anything like that. I am so against that. It's more about showing them and taking the initiative to really have the confidence to start flirting with them. Whether it's a cute little text, whether it's a little wink, whether it's a brush of the hair behind the ear, or some sort of body contact in some way that indicates flirting and indicates your interest, then it's going to start to show them and send a signal to them that you actually want more. Sometimes you're being friend zoned because you're not making it obvious enough that you actually do want to be someone who they date. Let's face it, not everyone is as aware as other people. So if you are giving the right sort of signals, whether it is through text messaging or phone calls or how you talk to them or what you do with your body language, then they're going to have a little bit more of an indication of what it is that you want from that person. And flirting is the best way to get out of the friend zone as well, because it's basically showing them that you're somebody who sees them beyond just a friend. That let's face it, you don't really flirt with your friends, am I right? So if you can start introducing a little bit of flirting into your relationship with them, then you are going to be able to not only show them your intentions, but you're also going to be able to gauge whether or not they're receptive to it and whether or not they actually do want to have something more with you as well. Lastly, state your intentions. The easiest way to get out of the friend zone and know if they want to have something more with you is to actually ask them and tell them that you actually want more. Communication really is like the key to so many things in a relationship, and often we hold back because we're scared of their reaction. Let's paint a picture here. You can continue down this path of always having this need and wanting more with them, but never actually telling them that and never then getting what it is that you do want. Or you can actually say something to them and then really work out whether or not they are able to give you what it is that you want and you need. So on one hand, you can have the confusion and keep traveling on the same track and never really know and never get anywhere. Or you can just ask them straight up, tell them straight up, and then work out whether or not this is someone that you can continue to have a friendship with, or someone that you need to actually walk away from because it's just a little bit too painful and you don't want to stay in that friend zone. You will be surprised how much easier your love life will get as soon as you start to communicate with that person without fear of what their reaction is going to be. Now, this doesn't mean that you all of a sudden pounce on them or you take advantage of them when they're actually in a vulnerable state. This is about actually setting time aside to just have a conversation with them and let them know how it is you're feeling about them and what it is that you want. It doesn't mean that you're going to get it. It doesn't mean that they're going to feel the same way, but there's no point living in limbo and there's no point staying in this friend zone if it isn't a place where you want to be. Well, that's it. That's my tips for getting out of the friend zone. Don't forget, if you do have an Ask Renee question, simply email me at hello@reneeslansky.com. The link is below in the description and I would love to answer your questions. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. I have new videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays. And well, that's it from me. Have an awesome week.